Hello and welcome to Workbook Wednesday with METAVarsity. Today we're looking at sound and words, so sit back, get comfortable, relax, and let your learning journey continue. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What does this have to do with sound? Well, let's replace word with sound and you get, in the beginning was the sound, and the sound was with God, and the sound was God. It is believed that all physical matter was created through the use of a word. What does this mean? Well, a word is a sound, and a sound is a vibration, vibrating at a certain frequency, audible or inaudible. If we go right back to the beginning of spirituality, esoteric beliefs, metaphysical beliefs, so if we go right back to the beginning, the Chinese and the Hindus believed in the word being the origin and cause of all matter. This idea is also found in Sumerian philosophy, and it states that the gods created the universe with their mighty commands. The myths of Hebrew, Celts, American Indians, Mayans, and Egyptians carry that same philosophy. The Book of the Dead states that God or servant gods created everything using combined forces of visualization and sound. First you visualize, then you pronounce the name. The Egyptian god of creation is Ra or Amen-Ra, and Amen was understood to be the word or sound and equates to the Hindu Om. In Hindu or Hinduism, these were called mantras, seed words, or bijas. Egyptians believed, like the Hindu, in the bija mantra, meaning that everything in the universe was created by a particular vibratory pattern or patterns, and this could be influenced by uttering the sound pattern. The Egyptian priests would therefore tone the vibratory patterns, invoking the power of Amen or Om. Genesis in the Bible refers to sound from the higher dimensions that created the universe. And there's also the story of Jericho, where trumpets were sounded and the wall fell down and the city conquered. In ancient Britain, sound was used in the form of chants and mantras at special sites, such as Stonehenge and Glastonbury, and these served to keep the vibration steady and became powerful centers for channeling universal energy. In more recent years, the Theosophical Society, through Helena Blavatsky, channeled information on sound from El Moira, an ascended master. The Rosicrucian order uses the ancient esoteric principles of sound, and the Aquarian Age has philosophies embedded in the use and science of sound or the spoken word. They refer to 7 rays, being manifestations of particular vibrations that have specific keys or tones. These tones affect our physical, psychological, and spiritual patterns of life through the 7 chakras. The chakras are linked to these rays, which are the rays emanating from the word or the sound. And each ray is overseen by an ascended master and is linked to a tone in our music system, which can alter the tones or vibratory patterns of these rays. So now that we've explored a little bit about in the beginning, words and sound right from the very beginning, let's look at sound and language. We know that everything is energy, including our thoughts and the words we use to express ourselves. The emotions behind the thoughts and words carry intent and therefore energy. So this means that even our thoughts and words can be detrimental to us or beneficial to us. Consider the words mama or mama, papa, amen, father, Tara, Buddha, Krishna. What pattern do you notice? The pattern is the R sound. Bija sound and sacred seed syllable. That is the R sound. It's a bija sound and a sacred seed syllable, and it is used as a mantra to achieve states of consciousness invoking divine love on its own. So ah. So it becomes a language of light based on sound. This means that every word we speak makes a thought form in the etheric, and the R sound is found everywhere. And interestingly, one of the first words babies utter is ah, as in ma and pa. We also use words to punish people in the things that we say, such as I hate you or you are lazy. Swearing and abbreviation affects the power of words. When words are used without thought, this creates energies that do not support the highest and the best. So right speech and right thinking is important, which is one of the Buddhist teachings, right speech and right thinking. And this can be seen in the color of our auras. Incorrect word usage creates an aura that is dark and cloudy. So when we don't have right speech and right thinking, our aura becomes dark and cloudy. And this hinders our health and the flow of energy through our physical system and our energetic system. When a word is spoken, the brain creates an image. And as we know, or anybody who studies metaphysics, like our students, we know that energy follows thought. So it's important to be cautious of thoughtless remarks, because thoughts and words spoken precisely and with meaning produce great effects. Words of power are found in all sacred traditions, and they convey reality to our consciousness, and we can use them to shatter or repel negative energy or to heal. Mantras create vibrations in the vocal cords that affect the body and the organs. Mantras and chants purify the auric field, and there are 7 bija sounds or bija sounds that correspond to the chakras, or 7 mantras or 7 chants that correspond to the chakras. And these are used to balance and activate the chakras in the same way that musical notes and vowels do. Mantras are repetitive sounds used to penetrate the depths of the unconscious mind and adjust the vibration of all aspects of your being. Mantras are vibrated through chanting aloud, mental practice, or just simply by listening to them. The mantra chants for the chakras are as follows. For the base chakra, Lam, sacral, Vam, solar plexus, Ram, heart, Yam, throat, Hum, third eye, Aum or Om, and then the crown chakra, Om. And as you will see, this table shows you the attributes as well that are associated to the different chakras and the types of healing that can take place. So for example, if you have low blood pressure, then you would work with Lam and the base chakra. If you had suffered from headaches or sinus or allergies, you'd work with the third eye, and you would work with Aum or Om. Or the heart chakra, if you have high blood pressure or issues with your heart, you'd work with Yam. The word mantra itself comes from the words from Sanskrit, and man means to think, and tra means to free. So mantras can take the form of 1 or 2 syllables. One syllable mantra, an example is Om, meaning I am, or a 2-syllable mantra is Soham or Soham, meaning I am that. A lovely mantra is Aham Prima, and this mantra translates to I am divine love. You've got Om or Amen, which represents the divine. And traditionally, mantras are chanted 1,000 times a day or 108 times if you're pressed for time. I know I, for one, can't sit and chant for 1,000 times a day, but certainly I can manage 108 times. Or if you're really pressed for time, 10 to 15 minutes of chanting daily. Or in multiples of 3. And then, of course, you've got the variation of Om, Aum, which helps to repair and build. Words have the power to help, to heal, to hinder, to hurt, to harm, to humiliate, and to hum. And considering the powerful force of the words we say, we could discipline ourselves to speak in a way that conveys respect, gentleness, and humility. When we speak, we should speak with mindfulness. Gary Chapman, in his book Love as a Way of Life, has a lovely, vivid metaphor for words as either being bullets or seeds. And if we use our words as bullets, with a feeling of superiority and condemnation, we are not going to be able to restore a relationship to love or be nurturing or compassionate. And here I'm referring to relationships, not love relationships specifically, but also friendships, work relationships, relationship with your job, relationship with your finances. And if we use our words as seeds with a feeling of supportiveness and sincere goodwill, we can rebuild a relationship in positive and life-affirming ways. When we speak, we must align our words, voice inflection, tone, eye expression, body language, and actions with our inner awareness. Believe it or not, there is a reason for the old age saying, think before you speak. And that's why we advocate, think before you speak. Words are extremely powerful. They're extremely powerful tools that we can use to uplift our personal energy and improve our lives, though we're not often conscious of the words we speak, read, and expose ourselves to. So not only do the words we use create an imbalance in our personal energy, obviously words that are harmful, but the words of others can easily affect our personal vibration. So for example, if you spend a few minutes with a chronic complainer who uses all sorts of negative terms, you'll feel your own personal energy bottom out. Words have great power, so choose them and your friends wisely. This is such a lovely slide, as it shows a good example of the effect of words on water. These experiments were first conducted by Dr. Imoto Maziru, who took water, purified water from lakes, and then attached words such as evil, you fool, you disgust me, as you will see in the top row of pictures. And then it shows how they responded. The water changed and responded to the energy of those words. And then when words such as thank you, love, and gratitude, harmony were used with the water, it shows on the bottom row of pictures how the water responded. And you'll see there is such a difference. So Dr. Imoto conducted his experiments with water. Why? Because sound vibration travels through water 4 times faster than it does through open air. And consider the fact that your body is over 70% water. Then you'll understand how quickly the vibration from negative words resonates in your cells. And how many times a day do we throw our words away? We'll say, oh, I hate my hair, or I'm so stupid, or I'm such a klutz. We never think that these words could bring negative energy into our vibration and affect us on a physical level, but they do. And ancient scriptures tell us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. As it turns out, that's not a metaphor. When we become upset, we often use hurtful words to describe situations or even to describe someone. We take pleasure in finding a particularly apt insult for someone who has wronged us. We say something to put them in their place because it makes us feel more powerful and superior when they made us feel smaller or less important, or because it addresses an injustice, or because we see the other person as a bully or a monster, or because we're hurting and we want the other person to hurt too. So it's important that we begin to be consciously aware of the words that we use and to make words work for us. So that means we need to consciously harness the power of our words for our benefit, and we need to start with the ones that we're using. So begin to stop name-calling, or stop self-criticizing, or simply just become aware of when you're doing that. The awareness is the first step to changing and healing. Stop all self-deprecation. Resist gossiping and speaking ill of others. Go on a negativity diet. Vamp up the vibe or the energy of the words that you use. And get rid of any negative Nancys in your circle of friends. Surround yourself with positive, uplifting words. But now what are the words that we should avoid, or the things we should avoid saying? It's difficult to start. Well, here's a guide. Retarded. People who use it deliberately as a cheap and easy way to tear someone else down, meaning they are stupid or brain damaged. And you know that we even sometimes call ourselves retarded. When you've done something silly or a stupid mistake, you go, I'm so retarded. And just think what you are doing to yourself with the vibration and the emotion and the intent behind those words, what it's doing to your physical body. It was just a joke. This expression is meant to brush off someone else's response to an offensive remark. It's similar to, "I was only kidding," and is meant to deflect attention from the one who made the offensive statement and point to the one complaining as someone who can't take a joke. And one should then include follow-up phrases such as, "I'm sorry you were offended by that." I used to hear this one all the time. "You're such a drama queen." And the assumption behind this statement is that the other person is overreacting to something, or that the other person just loves drama or wants attention. But it's more likely that there's something going on with that person that hasn't yet been addressed. Their apparent need for drama is their way of crying out for attention to something that has been ignored for far too long. Another statement to avoid is, "You don't know what you're talking about." The more common variant is, "She doesn't know what she's talking about," since these words are often spoken to discredit a female who isn't in the room and therefore cannot immediately defend herself. So right now, what you can do is sit down and make a list of all the negative words you use daily. They can also be negative thoughts you think about yourself. Write them down. And then on another piece of paper, write down all the alternatives to the negative words or negative statements, negative thoughts. You can then write those positive words on colorful posts or sticky notes and place them where you can see them. And then what is really effective, if you could design a little ceremony and then take the list of negative words and burn them. So designing a little bit of ceremonial magic around that is a great way of getting rid of and negating the effect of the negative words. Another really great activity or exercise to do at home is the Hawaiian mantra practice. And I'm not even going to begin to pronounce the name because I'm hopeless at that. But did you ever have to say sorry for something you've done wrong to someone? Well, in Hawaii, that name means "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you." And the direct translation in English is "to make right." Traditional Hawaiians believe that all life is connected to each other, and by practicing the ho'oponopono, they heal themselves, other people, and the world around them. Well, there you go. I stepped up to my fear of pronouncing it, and I did. I doubt it was correct, but at least I tried. So what do you need to do? Well, conduct your basic preparation technique, and then sitting quietly in meditation, repeat either aloud or in your head in multiples of 3, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you." And as I've said, the words or the Hawaiian mantra practice means forgiveness and cleansing of errors of thought, the origin of problems and sickness in the world. And by repeating these words, you open yourself up to clearing the stagnant energy trapped in your body. These 4 short phrases are simple but powerful. By asking for forgiveness, you open yourself up to all sorts of transformative healing energy. And every time your mind drifts off, bring the attention back to the mantra. And word of caution, your mind is going to wander off. Don't get frustrated. Just bring it back to the words, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you." After about 15 minutes, or as long as you can hold it before you start becoming uncomfortable or your nose begins to itch, just breathe deeply, and then on the exhale, release the mantra and conclude your meditation, bringing it to a close. That brings us to the end of today's Workbook Wednesday with METAVarsity. Join us next week when we'll be looking at sound healing modalities, and have fun practicing with your mantras and your Hawaiian mantra meditation. Bye for now.